It is another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the three films released on May 15th, 2009. And we've been on kind of a roller coaster drive to start the summer off. We had a bad week 2 weeks ago, then it was uplifted last week, and then this week we're heading back down again. Here is the big blockbuster to come out this weekend, the biggest new release of the weekend, the sequel to The Da Vinci Code, Tom Hanks returning with Ron Howard directing, Angels and Demons. By the way, how fitting is it that we got to this movie just 2 days after Pope Francis died? No joke. This is being recorded on April 23rd, 2025, and 2 days ago we lost Pope Francis, who died at 88 years old, and they're currently looking for a new pope as we speak. And sure enough, the plot of this movie is sort of almost very similar to this movie, but Tom Hanks is back once again as Professor Robert Langdon, while Ayet Zuller from Vantage Point stars as Dr. Vittoria Vitra, a CERN scientist who joins Langdon in the quest to recover a missing vial of antimatter from a mysterious Illuminati terrorist. And my god, this is really fucking stupid. I mean, this is one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And just the fact that, I mean, here's the thing. With the Da Vinci Code, I got it. I got why you made the movie off of it. I mean, it was one of the best, most beloved books of all time. It was a massive, successful book overall. You got a film with Tom Hanks and Ron Howard. The buzz was already building on that. It was a controversial book. The movie was seen as controversial. It may have not been a good movie, but I could see why it was such a big hit with everybody. Now you're just pushing your luck here, because, my god, this movie makes it even worse than the original Da Vinci Code. I mean, it's basically turned this guy into a Jason Bourne, James Bond-esque type of hero that isn't anywhere near as cool as those guys are. And you would think with a movie with Ron Howard directing it, and a script by David Coep and Akiva Goldsman, and a cast that includes Tom Hanks, Ewan McGregor, Stellan Skarsgård, you'd think you'd have something here, and they just don't. This is a movie that is just so unbelievably over-the-top ridiculous. I mean, this makes the National Treasure movies look more realistic by comparison. And those movies were god-awful. But this, wow, this was bad. I couldn't believe how terrible this was. I mean, this is a really, really bad movie. I mean, it's a lazy film. It's a film that is just a bland, generic action movie. But because it has the name Angels and Demons, because it has the name Dan Brown attached to it, the man who wrote the Da Vinci Code, we got to make it a bigger deal than it has to be. And it's not a good movie. It really is not a good movie. And I love these people that are involved in this, but they deserved a lot better than this. And the fact that this series became a franchise, like, nobody cared after the Da Vinci Code. Literally, the last film that came 7 years later, nobody was asking for that film. I mean, with this, you can make the argument that, yeah, it was coming off of the Da Vinci Code. I mean, that film was a big success, so hopefully they thought they were going to lightning was going to strike twice on this one, and it just didn't. And it doesn't help that the film is just so bland, so boring, so uneventful. The mystery isn't even all that interesting in this movie. That's how bad it is with this. Like, if you can't sucker your audience into this and get them more vested, you've lost the point of making the movie, except that you're just making it for that money, that quick buck. And sure enough, it did make money. It was the 9th highest grossing film of the year, despite the bad reviews. And, I mean, it did what it had to do, and we got the sequel 7 years too late. I mean, at that point, nobody gave a shit about this, and quite frankly, I was surprised that somebody actually gave a crap to go see this one and make it the hit that it was. So, yeah, I didn't like this one. I mean, I've never liked these Da Vinci Code movies, but at least with the first one, I understand its purpose for existing. This, I feel like they were just pushing their luck with this one. Yeah, that's Angels and Demons. This weekend overall was not a good week for movies. We'll get to the best one of the three we have here a little bit later on here, but let's move on to the next movie. Let's see if we can turn the tide around with Management with Jennifer Aniston and Steve Zahn. Well, you can obviously tell from that trailer that this movie didn't leave much of a lasting impact. You know, I've heard this had some of the worst trailers out there, and judging by what I saw there, I wouldn't put it past them. But I saw the movie, and it is better than the trailers let on. Is it a great movie? Not really. You have Steve Zahn starring as a man who works at his parents' motel in Kingman, population 27,000 on Old Route 66. Jennifer Aniston plays Sue, who sells art for a Baltimore firm decorations for office walls. He took one look at her from behind as she registers at the motel and determines to connect. He's sweet but hapless, with no ambition other than spending time with her. She's enigmatic, rarely smiling, occasionally impulsive, committed to helping homeless people, feeling the clock tick after a breakup with a boyfriend who could have provided security. Is there any way he stands a chance with her? What could he offer? Could you maybe offer a better movie than what we got? I mean, like I said, this isn't a bad movie, and the trailers made this look a whole lot worse than it actually was. It's not that bad. But it's not that great either. It's a movie where the only thing that's holding it together are the performances by Jennifer Aniston and Steve Zahn. But these are two really good actors, and I feel like even in this movie they're kind of half-assing it a little bit, but they're the ones who are at least still giving it life and giving it a reason to exist. Woody Harrelson overall I thought was probably the best thing about the movie. It was a pretty good year for him because he had this, Zombieland, The Messenger coming out in the fall. I mean, it was a really good year for him to show that, hey, this guy can still be really damn good as an actor, and he really is one of the stronger things about the movie. I just feel like those bad trailers really pushed everybody away, because that was a rough trailer I had to sit through right there. And, yeah, overall, meh. Can't really recommend it. Can't really say it's a bad movie. Just a mostly mixed opinion on this one. So, let's get to overall the best movie of the entire week, and that is Rian Johnson's The Brothers Bloom. Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to find a TV spot that was in American, but that's the only one I could find there. I could have put the trailer on there, but I don't know how Summon Entertainment feels about copyrights on their trailers and all that, so I just went strictly with the commercial. But this is a really good movie. This is easily the best movie of the entire week, where you have Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo as a pair of brothers, the Blooms, who are probably the best con men in the world. Before they get out, they decide to have one last hustle as wine and dine an eccentric heiress played by Rachel Weisz, showing her the time of her life with a romantic adventure around the world. And there's also a mix of another woman being entered into the situation, played by Rinko Kikuchi. And yeah, it's a really, really solid film. I mean, this is a really good movie. Of course, Rian Johnson's last movie was Brick, which I thought was a masterful film. In fact, of all the films he's directed, this is probably the weakest one he's directed. But even then, it's not a bad movie. It's far from it. It's still a really good movie. The guy has very rarely missed. I mean, the Knives Out movies are great. But Star Wars The Last Jedi is pretty good. Suck it, haters. Of course, Looper. So yeah, this guy is a solid director. He knows what he's doing, and he has these great actors all across the board here to make it work. You have the late Maximilian Schell in here, Robbie Coltrane, I'm also in the cast. I mean, this is what you expect from good Rian Johnson, and the chemistry between all four of these actors works so well. I mean, it's kind of like a modern version of something like a Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, with a little bit of the Blues Brothers still in there with the Rika Kikuchi character, because it feels like she's trying to go after the main characters. But I mean, overall, yeah, this is a really solid film. It's a really good movie, probably the more underrated of the Rian Johnson movies as a whole, because everyone knows Brick, everyone knows Looper, everyone knows the Knives Out movies, and everyone knows The Last Jedi. But most people, I feel like, forget this one even exists, and it's a shame, because it's a pretty damn good movie. It's definitely one I highly recommend checking out. If you love Rian Johnson's work, you're going to love The Brothers Bloom. I liked it, so take that for what you will. The Brothers Bloom. And thus, with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. Not the best week for movies overall, but just like the week before, we make up for going back up the roller coaster again with a solid week of movies here. I mean, 4 good ones. Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian, which is, of course, a sequel to Night at the Museum. The last good Terminator movie, in my personal opinion, Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale, and also Sam Worthington and Helena Bonham Carter, Anton Yelchin, Bryce Dallas Howard's also in here too. Dance flick with the Wayans brothers on a new spoof movie, which is definitely a lot better than you probably give it credit for. And Steven Soderbergh's The Girlfriend Experience, which later would go on to create a television series of the same name. We'll take a look at all 4 of those movies. That'll be coming up tomorrow on the show, so definitely be on the lookout for that tomorrow. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, because if you did, please go ahead and hit that playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, notification button, and the bell, because that's where you get updates on when new videos come out. And we do post new videos here every day. So, with all that said, I am off. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, as always, take care.